Priscilla Presley as one of the biggest love stories in music history. But the truth is a lot more. Many think of Elvis and Priscilla Presley as one of the biggest love stories in music history. But the truth is a lot more complicated than that, especially when it comes to how they met. According to most Elvis biographies and Priscilla's memoir, the basis for Sofia Coppola's film Priscilla, the pair first met at a party during Elvis's time in the army when he was in his mid-20s. That wouldn't be scandalous at all if it weren't for the fact that Priscilla was just a teenager at the time. For their entire relationship and beyond, Elvis and Priscilla were the subject of intense gossip and speculation. Although they did have a fairly significant difference between their ages, that's not the most controversial element of their relationship. Ahead we break it all down. Priscilla's stepfather, Paul Beaulieu, was an Air Force officer, and they were stationed in Germany in the late 1950s. Because of Beaulieu's military job, the family interacted frequently with the soldiers on the base, and one invited Priscilla to a party at Elvis's house. She and Elvis initially met in September 1959. It's not the age gap itself that caused such a scandal when Elvis and Priscilla first met, but their respective ages at the time. Elvis first met his future wife when he was 24 years old during his time in the army. So how old was Priscilla when she met Elvis? Just 14 years old, and Elvis began pursuing her romantically almost immediately. In 1963, the Beaulieu's allowed Priscilla to move to Memphis to be with Elvis full-time. Again, they put conditions on the move. She had to live with Elvis's parents in a separate house and attend the nearby Catholic girls' high school, and he would eventually have to marry her. And once again, they either had no way to enforce those conditions or turned a blind eye as their teenage daughter essentially moved in with a rock star 10 years her senior. When she did officially move in, her parents again gave their permission, as long as Elvis intended to marry her. In Priscilla's memoir, Elvis and Me, she claimed that their relationship was not sexual until after they were married, but those claims have been disputed by other biographers as part of a PR spin to legitimize their relationship to the public. While Elvis headed to Hollywood for more movies, Priscilla stayed in Memphis. Meanwhile, he had affairs with his female co-stars, which he shrugged off as just gossip to Priscilla, even when she was allowed to visit him in California. Eventually, in 1966, Elvis proposed to Priscilla. Some accounts suggest that he did so after she threatened to talk to the press, and her stepfather threatened to have Elvis charged with sexual crimes against a minor. Elvis and Priscilla's marriage lasted about 6 years officially, but in reality they began drifting apart after only a couple of years due to Elvis's hectic touring schedule and chronic infidelity. They divorced in 1973, but reportedly remained on good terms until his death in 1977. After that, Priscilla and her daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, were at the forefront of projects keeping Elvis's legacy alive, though the latter died on Jan 12, 2023 at age 54. The 2022 Elvis biopic, starring Austin Butler as Elvis and Tom Hanks as his manager Tom Parker, covers parts of the relationship between Elvis and Priscilla. Coppola's Priscilla, in theaters on November 3, which Priscilla has seen and approved of, shows her side of the story and is less romantic about what went on. Elvis Presley died in 1977 at the age of 42, just a few years after their divorce. It was a good life, Priscilla told people of their romance in 2021. It was different, but it was ours. Elvis, despite being a decade older, was equally captivated by the young Priscilla. Their connection was undeniable, blossoming into a romance that would change both their lives forever.